どこにも力なんか入れてない。お前の無駄な力を利用しただけだ。力の流れをコントロールする。そのためにはどんな動きにも対応できるように全身の力を抜いて、そう。
Okay. Let me switch mine.
Oh shit! I forgot to add. Oh snap! I forgot to add Missy. Hold on.
Oops, I didn't mean to pin that message.
I need to share. How do y'all just be copying y'all link and sharing it for Twitch, like on the
Right, I'll go ahead and do like a bit of an intro. So I would like to say like welcome in everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day so far. Today we're doing a disabled creative panel so that way we can discuss our day-to-day both in our outside lives and in the creative space in general, how it affects us while being disabled and maneuvering that. Sorry, I'm so all over the place. Oof. But it's also it's the disabled Pride Month for everyone, so I wanted to bring as much awareness and have a discussion as much as possible.
Yay!
yippee yippee.
Thanks for having us.
But yeah, I am Spice Peach. I am a variety like gamer streamer. I also do a little bit of art on the side. And if I could go ahead and just have everyone introduce themselves. Blue, did you want to start?
Let me go last because I forgot to add Missy's Fugi into OBS.
Yeah.
You're good. Oh. Some of the guest audio is doubled. Oh no, I've had this problem before, and I think the only way that I fixed it was just turning down a bit.
So, which guest is doubling? So we know.
Is it just any type of guest or?
Which one is the far left one?
Oh, I think that's blue. It might just be like sometimes depending on how like loud I have someone, they can hear them through my earbuds, unfortunately. I'll go ahead and turn it down a little bit to see if that'll help as well.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, thank you for letting me know. And Jayla, did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, like your name and everything you do?
Okay, so hi, my name is Jayla Cephidae. I'm a mutant jellyfish V artist who likes to talk about media analysis while drawing and gaming.
Yay.
Who's next?
Oh, Missy, are you ready? Did you want to go next?
Oh, sure. I'm Miss Finesse. People usually call me Missy. Aspiring VTuber at the moment, just a PNG tuber, and I am a huge gamer into shooters and gotcha games and story games, and I do a bunch of stuff. And I am obsessed with reading. Literally read fantasy and romance.
Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me all right? I wonder if it's picking up all right.
Yeah.
I hear
Okay.
you good.
For some reason, I can't hear y'all on my stream. I don't. Oh, it's cause I think uh, it's always me with this stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I don't. Um. Well, I'll just introduce myself real quick and then I'll fix it. Hi, my name is Baby Blue Arts. I just go by Blue. I am a PNG tuber, aspiring VTuber as well. I do a lot of art and that's mostly what I do on my streams now. And I just like creating fun, cute characters.
Lovely.
Thank y'all so much for the intros. So, oh, sorry, I'm trying to pop up all my questions as well.
Mhm.
So I don't know if anyone wanted to go first, or we can try and like keep kind of the same order, but then we want to go ahead and start with the questions. Or Blue, did you still need a second, in case we can't be heard?
I can't figure out how to add Discord audio. I can't remember how to do it.
Um, so how you want to do that? You want to add application audio output
Okay.
or audio output capture? I don't know why
Okay.
they have the same symbol, and then there should be a choice with Discord.
Uh, you said audio output capture?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it didn't give me the option for Discord.
Then
I might have to do it as the
application.
other one.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Application audio. Discord. Okay. There we go. Now let me make sure I turn y'all down. And let me. Hold on. Can y'all try talking so I can see if it's working?
Hi.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Is it working?
Hello.
Yeah, it's working now. It's working now. Okay.
Yay!
It's okay.
Yay, I'm glad it's working.
Maybe spin a wheel, Peach, so we don't have to necessarily do the same order. Everybody's pick a number.
4.
Pick a number.
Is that
3.
an option?
Um, 2.
Peaches first.
And then on Google, there's like a wheel spinner thing.
All right, let me see. All right, who had 4?
Me.
Awesome. Missy, for the first question, so
Oh,
if yeah. So you get to go first then. If you're comfortable sharing, just say a bit about your disability, your disabled identity, and how does your disability like clash with you? How does it play into your work, your prox oh my god, your process and the perspective that you bring?
of course. I have high functioning autism, so the biggest thing I think that clashes with me and sometimes certain personalities are like me being such a perfectionist, me being very direct. But I feel like in all that clashes with certain people, it also gives a fairly safe environment for other people like me to feel seen. And yeah,
Awesome. Let me go ahead and roll for the next one. Let me roll for the next number there. And 2. Who had 2?
Oh no. um,
Go ahead, Blue.
so I'm sharing about my disability and identity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and how
Okay.
it affects you in your process.
Okay, so I have quite so my overall disability identity is mental, and I suffer from things like depression, bipolar, schizo, and severe anxiety and ADHD. So, and the way it affects me just overall is it makes switching between tasks really difficult and staying focused on my creative um process really difficult, and just being able to get up and do the things that I want to do, and yeah, overall.
Mhm. And then who had number 1?
I picked 3.
Oh, I have one then. Um, so for me, I also have autism and I have I'm gonna be honest, because I don't fully understand my condition, I've never like been educated enough on it. I'm not fully well versed on like how it affects me and those around me. But one thing that I do know is that when it comes to I have sciatica, which is like so your sciatic nerve is a giant nerve that goes on down your whole leg, and I have pain that goes like all the way down to my ankle, basically connecting to my hip. And if I get a really bad flare up, then I'm just not able to walk or move at all. And then I also have like chronic pain with my trap muscle where it can get pretty swollen and pretty painful, but once the pain reaches my neck, like my whole day is over. I will end up with migraines and I have to stay like shut myself out in a room like that's completely like dark with no noise. But it can be pretty difficult because I also have like a pretty like physical job. So I'm in a like constant cycle of like working and coming back home to try and reach some point of recovery over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
then for the next question, it was oh wait no.
Jayla.
Oh, I'm
Jayla.
next.
I forgot.
Okay, so I
My
got
bad.
I got about a few. I got about a few. So I wear glasses. Specifically, I have astigmatism, and to be honest, it's not too bad. Cause like even though it's like how to describe astigmatism, but it's like when the cones in your eyes are slightly misshapen and it causes blurred vision at different distances. But like the weird part about it is that like if I didn't have astigmatism, I would have like 2015 vision. So I would see about 5 feet further than the average person. So like even though I need glasses, I can still see details and whatnot as long as it's corrected. And then I got asthma and allergies. So it's a pain in the ass when the flowers come out and I can't deal with dry air. And then with all of this shit with COVID and trying to navigate that, especially with like the lack of proper air infrastructure, it's a pain in the ass, especially if you're the only one who's like masking. And speaking of masking, I got autism, but I never masked it. It's more like, cause like I was lucky to grow up in an encouraging environment, and even with bullying, I was just taught to beat somebody's ass if they were bothering me. But I feel like some symptoms have sort of shifted. You know how as you grow up, sometimes your symptoms when it comes to autism and ADHD, they either change or they become more pronounced. I went from being, say, the SpongeBob autism archetype as a kid to being more like the dry humor kind of autism, if but not quite like the asshole genius kind, but it's just like I'm across the street from him. And I don't know if that's due to age or due to like negative experiences leading to jadedness. I don't know, but like I'm it's been a journey. And then the other big disability that I got is PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome and stuff, and that's a pain in the ass because it's like cramps. It's mostly cramps, but also like mood swings due to hormone imbalances and body hair in inconvenient areas, and it's just like damn. It's so funny because like everybody would complain about cramps and stuff during their cycle, and I was just like, not me. Until I got diagnosed, then it's just like, hey, you get cramps even outside of your cycle, and it's just like, damn, I want to live.
Oh God.
All right, then thank you so much for sharing. One thing that I wanted us to talk about was how the perceptions and accommodations for disabilities differ in the creator space, like Twitch and VGen, versus like your day-to-day outside of like life. So work, school, things like that. So let me go ahead and generate a number. And all right, Jayla, there it goes again. Jayla, would you
Okay.
like to answer? You
When
want
it
to keep it
comes,
rolling?
yeah, when it comes to accommodations, creator space versus day to day, I don't think that I've needed accommodations, or at least not accommodations specific to my disabilities, because like they're mainly like physical, so it's not something that UX design when it comes to like using the app would necessarily fix. Or actually technically captions,
Mm-hmm.
like even though I'm not hard of hearing and stuff, especially if there's multiple people and trying to keep track of things, but then I tend to use captions more whenever I'm like watching foreign media. But when it comes to day-to-day life outside, I am grateful that the job that I have some flexibility and stuff, because I work part-time at a Black History Museum, and if you have to be out for like a week due to medical reasons, you have the option to do stuff from home. So that's helpful whenever I'm like dealing with pain, whether that's due to PCOS or mainly due to my asthma. When it comes to accommodations with autism, like I don't know, because you know how people describe autism as like a spectrum and stuff, but it's but the kind of spectrum is not like a slider of quote unquote how autistic are you. It's just like how many symptoms do you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My autism doesn't necessarily keep me from working. It's more like interactions and stuff. And luckily I could read a room Like, I don't have issues with tone indication and stuff, but it's more like the other way around where I do come across as dry. Like, even though my face's expression, sometimes my voice doesn't match.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so it's like I can understand everybody else fine, but it's like a issue of translation and conversations. So there have been times where I've had to have like a conversation and it's just like, this is how I function, and if I sound a certain type of way, let me know so I could clarify.
Hmm.
But for the most part, my work in school and stuff. Now with school, it's a pain in the ass. I'm an illustration major, and my school has this thing where you can't have more than 3 absences, but it's specifically for art students if you have a different major. And it's just like, but this is a hands on degree, so you have to be in the studio. And I'm like, bitch, I could take this shit home. Sometimes I don't want to go out. The air is ass. And I like, and I literally live down the street from the studio, but I still don't want to be going out because the air is
Yeah.
ass. But that's trifling as hell. But other than that, it's fine. Who's next?
I
Go,
think it was
go,
Blue that
go.
had four.
Nah,
I had
It's
4.
Missy.
Oh,
Missy had four. Missy had four.
Looks around. For I think for me, one thing that was crazy, kind of coming from like being on the outside world, socializing on the outside world in real life and all that stuff, is like disabilities are very much looked down upon. They're discouraged, judged, sometimes even pitied,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of makes you feel like something's wrong with you. And then it puts you in this like really small bubble of like I'm not like everyone else. And growing up, that makes you feel like what can I do to be more like other people? What can I do to fit in? And it makes you just very like wary and like self-conscious. But when you get to an online space, people are like so accepting and uplifting and understanding, and you just feel so seen and part of like such a beautiful community and environment. People who just like really are able to connect to you and relate to you. And I think that like is the biggest like perception difference I've noticed from like being like IRL and that work and then coming online and streaming and meeting people like you wonderful people who are like who totally get it. And it's just like you feel so seen. You feel like wow, like my whole life I thought I was the problem. Like I thought I was different. I thought something was wrong with me. And these people who are like, yeah, slay, we all got autism. Like, yeah, we ate. And it's kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, like turn up. Like it's such a huge change and it's such a huge um it's such a it's like so different to change your mindset from like, oh my gosh, something's wrong with me to like, no, like this is who I am and my identity isn't all of me. It's just like is who I am. And that change is like hard for anyone to go through, but it's such an amazing thing to experience that I don't think I would if I wasn't like on social media and I wasn't streaming and I wasn't in environments and creative spaces like this. So I really think that's like the biggest thing I've taken from being like a real outside person to more of like an online creator space person and in like social media and stuff like that. So yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Period.
Uh, um. So how's the perception coming in? Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can really speak too much on it in the creative space since I'm still kind of new to it. I haven't been actively making content and stuff for a while, but I guess that can influence it. Is like with my disability, it makes it really hard to like actively be posting regularly and doing stuff like that. And as a result, platforms like YouTube and Instagram, and they're not very forgiving because I'm constantly getting shadow banned on YouTube if I don't post every day or if I'm not uploading regularly on like a long form video or anything or shorts. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it's really difficult to do that every day when it's I can't even like process what the day is like when I wake up.
Yeah.
So I have to make um having to work around that is like, okay, if I want to get into a mindset where I want to be a creative, like, and do things, I have to do that in my personal life. Like YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, they want to accommodate for those things. The oh you're having a bad day or you're having a bad month or so, if you, but we can't do anything about that, because if you're not posting, then we're just going to shadow ban you. You're not going to get any push or reach. So, and I mean, there's not much they can do about that. It's all like algorithms and stuff, but it would be interesting to see if they had a thing where you could put in like, oh hey, I'm a disabled creative, so I'm not able to, meet those standards regularly. So like if there was like a generator or something like that, that's the only thing I can think of. But in like my real life working for retail, they're only accommodating, especially like big industry corporate places are only accommodating when you get in their face about it. So I had to struggle to get my disability paperwork in, and then I had people question me about, oh, what is it that you need to, like, what is the thing that you're putting in for? I'm like, y'all aren't supposed to be asking me that. Y'all just need to take this paperwork and accommodate me, because like I don't have to share that information if I don't want to, and things like that. And especially I feel like with like Jayla, since she works like for the history museum and stuff like that, it's a little different. But when it comes to like big industry corporations and like retailers and stuff, they're only accommodating when you make it a problem.
Ooh,
Mm,
okay.
yeah.
So one thing that I want to add, because Blue and I, we know each other IRL. That accommodation thing, that's specifically to that museum. Because I'm fairly
Yes,
certain that if I,
specifically.
yeah, because if I worked anywhere else with the state, they probably be like, tough titty.
Yeah. So I had to like really, I had to, when I say I struggled to get my disability paperwork accepted, because I had fallen off of like psychiatry, my going to my like doctor's appointments, and they were like, well, you need a doctor to approve it, obviously. Even if you have this history and you have proof, other documentation, we can't do nothing until a doctor writes off on it. And then I had to wait on the doctor, taking a month to get the paperwork done, and then send it back and wait a month for them to approve it, and then get it approved, and still struggle with having my requirements on my paperwork accepted. So yeah.
Yeah, I know for me, when I first wrote this question, I remember that had wanted to talk about how, like, in my outside life, people don't really accommodate me. They don't seem to understand me. Like, when I think about work, you know, it's a pretty, like, heavy lifting job, which isn't great for the trap muscle that keeps, like, swelling up and things like that. And they'll tell me like, oh, like maybe you can just like lift a little bit less, but like that's my whole thing. They don't really like, for me to lift a little bit less, I have to leave. I can't be in the work environment because that's all I do. It's either I'm there or I'm not. And like I know that for me, my first thought process was that, being in a creative online space, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be like I get to control when I do my work. I get to control like when and how I get to socialize and like choose the people that I get to be around with and that they're going to understand me. But, as like time went on, I feel like I don't really get that. Like, I think one thing that I've started to realize is that everyone who understands me and everyone who gives me that space for like a safe space and those accommodation things like that, they're all like disabled as well. Like one thing that I'm getting more and more and that I'm seeing is that my outside life and how my disabilities are perceived, everyone in my outside life is also in the online space. Like everyone outside that doesn't understand, they're here as well and they're with us. There are peers. Like there will be plenty of times where I see like artists try to communicate to their commissioners like, hey, I'm having a flare up or I go through this, like I'm gonna need either extended time or unfortunately I can't meet the deadline. And then I'll see people call them out as like, oh, it's not very professional, you're a business. Like it's always like we're a business first and people last. And when it comes to
Mhm.
streaming, some streamers
Mm-hmm.
will tell me like, oh, like sometimes I have a headache too, just take a pill or like hit your 2 hour mark and you'll be good. But it's like I don't have a headache, I have a flare up that will give me migraines and my trap will swell and my sciatica will flare up. Like it's just a little bit different. And I think that while I was feeling pretty understood and hopeful, especially with ray training events and visibility like this, I've started to see that the people that understand me are the people that go through what I go through. It's still like
Yeah.
the people that don't understand me in outside life are still here and they're still also streaming as well. And it gets difficult at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, beyond
On they like
oh, my bad.
oh
Sorry.
no, you're
You go.
fine. I was just gonna say like on that part that you just talking about like people see it's nice that you have people like in your outside life that are in the same space and can understand because you have situations like in like just in a general like environment and area that I live in um the I guess the only way to say it is like the hood or like it's it's like it's not believed like for especially like in the black community mental health is not taken seriously at any point
Yeah.
in time and any time you start to get diagnosed with things they'll tell you oh you just need to pray about it let god work it out and or there's nothing wrong with you you just need to work on being more responsible and stop being lazy and stuff it's not like oh this is a real problem like this is actively damaging to my day-to-day life to where I cannot function properly like for my disability stuff for work specifically I requested like I spoke with my psychiatrist that hey if I can get 3 days out of the month where I won't be penalized for having to call out of work because I'm having a psychic episode a mental episode that would help that would make work more bearable in like those times like where I'm literally falling apart at work and I just need to go home but I'm scared to go home because I can get a occurrence or a point and be pointed out at work for that but now that's not happening now because I fought to get my disability and stuff in place but it just it makes it really difficult when the people outside of your life don't take you seriously in any regard about like it's not me being lazy it's the task being difficult like
Yeah.
in my mind like if I'm laying around if you see I'm laying around I'm not eating I'm not socializing I'm not talking and your immediate thought is I'm just being lazy it's kind of crazy like
What I want to add to that, especially since you wanted to bring up black perspectives, I don't necessarily think that people don't take it seriously. It's more like it's an unspoken rule that black people aren't allowed to rest. It's an
yeah
unspoken rule. Like, we cannot live without being extraordinary. And one of the damning things about disability and how that sort of relates to both white supremacy and capitalism is that if you don't contribute anything, then your existence isn't justified, and if your existence isn't justified, then that gives everybody the right to mistreat you. Because black folks have had our worth, especially in the US and like other colonial spaces, defined through what we can contribute. By acknowledging that we can't contribute all the time, then you're pretty much just challenging your own right to be here. So it's
Mhm.
like a to say that you're disabled or to say that you're incapacitated or to just say that you're fucking tired is like it's a taboo because it's just
hmm
like, oh, you can't be here anymore, never mind,
yeah
time to die.
No, that's actually huge to speak about. Like honestly, I don't think it's something that's spoken about a lot. And like you just already stated that exactly the way you did. It's like the conversations that we're having are stuff that are I don't think that should be hard, but they definitely weigh heavy on the heart because people don't have either the emotional or mental capacity to want to discuss it or even the understanding of how deep these conversations can be and how important they are to have, because they just let people feel heard, understood, and they encourage you to think a lot. And people don't like to think in the world. People like an easy, blissful, ignorant life. And it's like sometimes it's like it's really, really important to have panels and discussions and friends that have different sort of ways of living and experiences, and giving them the voice to just be like, this is what I go through, and let's talk about that for a second. And I think that's why it's like it's very beautiful. This is was what's happening. But it's like, yeah, I definitely agree with you guys, especially on like the black perspective of it. It's so hard. I remember telling my parents when I was like, oh yeah, like I have depression and anxiety, they just laughed at me. They're like, what? That don't exist.
Oof,
Never heard of that
oof.
word. And I was like, sister, like my brain is going through it. Like you don't understand. They're like, you just need to pray. Like let's
You
get out
just
the
need
whole
to
pants and
pray.
pray.
That
And
kills
I'm
me
like,
every time. That
every
kills me.
time, like, girl, prayers is not gonna save me right now, because I don't think that they understand that like as much as religion is really important to people, there are still physical things that are going to be fixed through physical resources.
What is
And
it?
they just
Faith
think
without
that,
works is dead. Faith without works is
yeah,
dead. I still
Yeah.
need
yeah,
I still need a check, please.
you know what I
I'm not
mean,
getting Medicaid.
exactly.
I'm not getting that, but it's just like I swear to God, I feel like you know that one phrase that most people don't have depression or anxiety. It's more like your body responding to not having its other needs met. It's like the hierarchy of needs. I
Yeah,
feel like a lot of people wouldn't have depression or anxiety if they didn't have to worry about like working to live. Now you could still have that chemical
Oof.
imbalance
yeah.
and shit, right? But it would be excuse me, but it would be so much more manageable if we didn't have to like justify existence by working.
Oh, big
Mhm.
on that. Huge on that. Because they're just like, yeah, and then the whole like concept of like wanting to have like like a slower day, and that being equated to being lazy. It's just like it makes you feel so wrong.
Oh,
And then
yes.
it just
Pre.
develops such a bad habit, because now when people go, I have friends who will be like, I'm like, girl, take a day off. And they're like, I'm taking a day off, and I'm like, but are you thinking about everything you have to do? Yes. Then you're not taking a day off. Like that's not actual rest. Rest is literally being able to do nothing and feel good that you did nothing. That's not rest. And it's like it's a conversation that is not spoken about enough. So we're waking it
That
up tonight.
yeah, that anxiety that if I'm not doing something, then I'm not, and I'm being lazy, like, because like it's
Yes.
constantly repeated to you. It's like, oh, I feel bad about resting. I feel bad that I'm not doing something. I feel
Yes.
bad that I'm not being active. Even at work, God forbid I go on my lunch break at work. I feel that way. I'm like, dang,
God
I
forbid.
really don't want to be here. I don't like my job, but I need to be doing something because I am here, and I can't even enjoy my lunch break because of it.
Yeah.
And then
On but and the problem with the with even trying to have anxiety, and then the relationship with food is also terrible. And I think from my perspective, from like I go through, I am not allowed to enjoy food unless I tell my brain I've earned it. And it's so damaging, because I will literally sit here and like play games, and I'll do work, and on my body's like, girl, you need some nutrition. Let's go get that nice sub downstairs, get some water. And my brain's like, nah, she hasn't earned it yet. She needs to finish this project. She needs to finish this quest. She needs to finish this. And then she gets to eat. And that
It,
anxiety is so hard. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, girl, I can still eat. Like, why can't I take a break and just eat and then come back? It's like, no, like, you need to earn it. I need to be, I have, like, my brain just tells me I can't. So it's very hard to, like, just enjoy and, like, to rest and vibe without thinking, like, the world's crashing around you or something's wrong if you don't get to do that. It's like,
and
it's
then
tough.
and then
it,
another aspect, like I'm privileged in the way that I didn't grow up in a house that considered me lazy. Like some of the stuff that y'all are talking to, my mom,
Yeah.
she grew up seeing that in her family, and she already took those steps to like break those habits before she had me and my sister.
break that generational trauma. Yes, ma'am.
Cause like I got workaholics and stuff now. My family is like it's like a mixed bag. Like they'll tell their kids to rest, but then they'll work themselves to the bone. So it's like a
Mm-hmm.
weird sacrificial thing. But with me, it's not necessarily feeling worthless because I'm not productive. It's more like, damn, my body work with me for once? Because it's not even just
Yeah.
being exhausted from work. I be exhausted from doing stuff that I actually want to do, and that pisses me off. Cause it's just like I
Yes.
want to not be tired, so I could do the stuff that I want to do, and then even with the stuff that I have to do, like I still need to clean. I need to clean my room because I don't like being
Yeah.
cluttered. I don't like it. Like, cause I know that
Yeah.
automatically makes my brain feel worse. But whenever I come home from work or something and dealing with cramping, I'm just like, yeah, I go to sleep, and I just want energy to do things.
Mhm.
One aspect I
Mhm.
feel,
I,
or that's technically for the next question. I'll talk about that in a minute. It's just like I want to
yeah.
do things. Can I
I
do
just want
things?
to bounce off of something finesse was saying like earlier with the not being able to eat, like not feeling like you're not earning like the right to eat.
Yeah.
um it's the like for me because I like, so if anybody knows what like bipolar or manic bipolar disorder is, um to put it in quick simple terms, it's like the period of time of where you're experiencing mania, and then the experience how long it lasts, and then along with the flip side of it is like the depression and anxiety. Mania can make you the like episode part of that is it can make me want to, like Jayla was saying, just work on the things I want to work on for hours on end, and by the time I realize it, I've gone the whole day without eating because I'm like just focused on being creative, and I have no regulation to am like a habit, if that makes sense, of, oh, I need to take a break and eat. But I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm feeling this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And by the time it ends, the whole day is over with. I haven't eaten at all.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah, and
so
I want to piggyback on like some of the stuff that we brought up is also like part of like my answer for the next question, which is like beyond the usual stuff that we always hear about, what like specific, maybe less talked about struggles we deal with as a disabled creator deserves to be talked about more. And I feel like for me, like when it comes to how I'm treated like as a streamer and an artist, I think that's one of my things is that panels like these are important to talk about like what we struggle with um day to day and like some of our pain or how our disabilities affect us. Like we can talk about that all day, but I think for me, one of the things that gets me that I feel like isn't touched on is like what able people and neurotypical people do with that type of information. Like when I
mm,
talk about like my pain and my flare-ups, I'm usually met with like, oh, like get an ice pack, lay down like a headache pill, and then you can just jump back in it immediately. Or if I'm having like a bad mental health day, like as we've all like already experienced so far and mentioned, is like the praying or the like just do a little bit of self-care, those types of things. Like it's not as helpful as people think it is. And I think what bothers me is that we talk about our struggles and we will even bring up like solutions, things we need, like, hey, I need this type of accommodation, I need that. But instead of like taking in the issues that we bring up and even possible solutions, like communities, businesses, anything in general, when they work on like quote unquote helping the disabled and helping with accommodations, they bring like a team of abled people and what they think disabled people need instead of just letting disabled people actually be a part of the conversation and solution. Like
What's the
if they were
word?
to make like,
Infantilization.
yes, infantilization, like that they need to help us, they'll figure it out for us, that we don't know what's good for us. We don't know what will
yeah,
help us. Like they're going to help and save us in what we need when they don't even want to hear what we need. Like we know what we need. We're grown adults. It's a savior complex. Like we're grown adults, we know what we need. We're telling you, but instead like you think that it's not real or that we don't know any better and what we need is just self care, a face mask, some ice pack, praying, and it just doesn't help the way they think it does because they don't want to understand.
yeah. With that. like this whole savior complex, especially I feel like it's a lot worse when you have people close, like your immediate people that's close to you, if that makes sense, like your family or friends that you develop
Hmm.
relationships with. They'll be like, they'll try to give you solutions instead of helping you work on a solution. And I'm like, this is having the opposite effect of like what I'm trying to do, like get past that. And it kind of differentiates between like mental disorders and physical disorders, just a little bit. And I say that because like with the mental disorders, it's like, oh, I literally have to like work one on one with somebody on like what I can do to assist with what the what's the word I'm looking for, the whatever, like put things in place. Like for people with ADHD specifically, it's like, oh, make a list, but like the list can't be too strenuous, or like the the task can't be too like, I can't think of the words. Oh my god. But yeah, that it's that. And then like with physical disorders, it's like people are like, oh, you just like what Peach was saying, you need to just sit down somewhere, or ice it or something. Now like that, it doesn't help. It doesn't help in like especially like when I was saying, especially when it comes to immediate family and friends.
Absolutely.
Also, another
But
aspect, or we're on the next set. We're technically on the next. Another aspect that I would wish that would be talked about more. How do I say this without being derogatory? There are some disability pages that are dedicated to like encouraging people and stuff, and that's fine. But sometimes it sounds like cope that's unhelpful, in the
Hmm.
sense that those aspie superiority ones where it's like autistic people constantly complaining about neurotypicals and being like, why, like, how to describe it, it's like autistic people have a strong sense of justice and da 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 da.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off because I grew up around other autistic people and they were usually white and male and they were absolute pieces of garbage. And it's just like, I understand that you grew up being made fun of, and the opposite of being bullied is like affirmation and stuff, but I feel like some people think that because they have suffered that they automatically have virtue. And it's just like, you could be autistic and still be a piece of garbage. Case in point, the
Hmm.
dumb
Hmm.
meshy fandom. Because oh my god, the amount of racism in that fandom, and like the
which
racism,
panda?
Dungeon Meshi, because oh my god,
Mm.
oh my god, when it came to the character Shiro and some of the stuff that was said because he was beefing with Laios, who's the fan favorite, and he's autistic coded and stuff, and it's just like y'all be looking like clan members as soon as somebody has something to say about your blurbo, maybe being a little bit ass, but it's annoying. Like there's a lot of, and this is like no matter what group, this isn't exclusive to disability, but you know how some people think that because they have some form of marginalization that they can't be considerate of other forms of marginalization.
Yes.
Hmm.
And then with
Mm-hmm.
disability, there's like a lot of lateral ableism and stuff. Like some people who are
I think
either
they're better
more
than other people.
some folks who are more functioning may have less patience with those who aren't on the same level, or
Yes.
just the lack of consideration. And as an autistic person, I'm kind of strict because it's just like, if you could hyper focus on Thomas the Tank Engine, then maybe hyper focus on being a better person. I don't know. I don't know. Like we already learned social conventions to learn how to mask. How about you learn social conventions to not be a piece of garbage towards people who are in a similar boat? Then I don't know. And
Yeah.
I don't even mask cuz I'm privileged. My family,
Hmm.
they're like, "Oh, you're just eccentric and stuff, or you have a lot of energy with stuff." And my mom, she might be as well, just different focuses on things. but we
Hmm.
function a
I
lot when it comes to like research and stuff. So I am privileged in that regard, but I was also just taught to be considerate of others. So whenever
yes.
like I see an autistic person and they're clearly being rude and it's like racial related or something and they're just like, "Oh, it's just a neurotypical not understanding that I'm functioning different." And it's just like, "No, you're racist, Tommy."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the people who use their
Yeah.
disability as an excuse to be enabled is kind of crazy.
Cuz it's just like
Something you guys just said like just woke like 5 million years of my life awake because like
like
I just thought of something so crazy like it just triggered me so not in a bad way but like to be like damn this also makes me so mad. um Big thing with exactly what you just said was about how people are so understanding about their disability, but on another person, they're so not understanding. And I think this translates really, really well to celebrities and fan bases.
mhm.
People are like, oh yeah, I'm autistic, but then they'll see a celebrity who's autistic, or like the whole thing with like Summer Walker, how she has anxiety. And everyone's on Twitter like, I have anxiety, I'm anxious, but not like that.
And it's just like it's
Okay,
not going to
that
be
doesn't
like
make
that
you
because
better.
you don't have enough
Yeah.
clout. Like this,
Clock it.
a celebrity will
It's
always
really
have more
scary.
anxiety than you because they are constantly
Exactly.
like with the average person. You know, you have to realize that not everybody is looking at you, but as a celebrity, everybody is kind of looking at you. So it's like,
Yeah.
how
It's
do you
also
deal with
not a
anxiety when the fear
competition.
is actually the fear?
Yeah.
It's there.
And then on
Hmm.
top of that, it's not a competition. Like there's not one way to be
Oh my
anxious.
God,
There's not
say it
one way.
louder.
You know what I mean? It's like the whole, and I really want to. I don't know if you guys have watched Love Island, but like this season was huge for that, where there's a lot of people look at traumas very differently, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't think people are very understanding that like communities. Sorry, people are very nuanced and complex,
Mm-hmm.
and one way that you handle it is not going to be how someone else's handles it, but at
Mm-hmm.
least you can try to understand them. And I think when people start to learn how to listen, understand, they'll actually be so much it'll be so much easier to feel heard and people can actually get the help that they need to.
Mm-hmm.
And this for what thing what thing triggers me is like when men are like, oh, I love crazy women, and then they get a crazy woman or they get someone who is like mentally ill a little bit, and then they're like, oh, like no, like you're crazy. It's like
Like the
you
only
hype
kind of
up
crazy
this
they want is somebody who could be
ex-
codependent
exact
on them.
possessive, exactly, like possessive and cute. But when you see they're like, oh, I love mentally a woman, then you get someone who's like depressed and anxious, they're like, oh, like you're not the mentally ill that I want. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you
That's
guys
the
You're not
mentally
the
got
ill I
you
you're
want.
not the kind that I can control. I want the
exactly, they make it
lobotomized
so
housewife
pretty.
who's high off of
Yes,
barbiturates, who's so high off of
they make it
barbiturates they
so
tolerate anything.
pretty. They make it look like mental illness is so pretty because for them it's like I want you to like depend only on me and I save you, and that's a savior complex that comes in people's mind, and they want to save you, and then when they realize like you need help that is outside of them, suddenly you're unlovable, suddenly they don't want anything to do with you, they want to step back and give you space, and it's like it's so toxic and dehumanizing that like it's a very scary thing, and I think people need to like I don't even know where we could begin to start solving stuff, but like things need to happen. Like things need to go down.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, can I talk about one thing media related, like when it comes to disability
Yes,
representation?
because I
Um,
Yeah.
want to go on that after. Yes.
I feel like I'm in a really weird spot because there's a lot of videos that talk about how it's bad to fix disabilities, but I think it depends on the context. Like,
Yeah.
because like everybody, there are some people who are like accommodations, not cures, and I understand the reason why because like non-disabled people treat our disability as an inconvenience instead of something that actually inconveniences us. Like they feel inconvenienced by
Hmm.
us being disabled than actually considering how we're inconvenienced. But it's just like
Yes.
there are some disabilities that objectively suck and I feel like it shouldn't be considered bad to like get rid of it. Like and I'm being very specific, right? Like say Ice King, because there were some people were saying that Ice King from Adventure Time being turned back into Simon is ableism because like because you know his mind is canonically fractured because of the effects of the crown
Yeah.
and stuff, but it's just like I hold that in a similar regard to say having Alzheimer's, and it's like it objectively sucks. That's like something that you can accommodate, and it's something that kills you because it's like your nerves deteriorating
Yeah.
Yeah.
and stuff. This isn't the same as, say, somebody being in a wheelchair when all they need is a ramp and a good mobility aid and stuff, and you could still have a fulfilling life. I think the issue is that most of the time when it comes to disabled rep, it's not disabled people writing it. So,
Mm.
and they don't have sensitivity readers who consider like people who have it and like whether or not, because like let's say that somebody got their cancer cured, you wouldn't say that it's ableist for a cancer patient to not want their cancer because it literally kills them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Same with long COVID. But it would definitely be ableist to say that, I don't know, having to cure somebody of their autism, because autism isn't even a disease, and if you get rid of it then it fundamentally changes that person because it's like behavioral and stuff based. It's
Hmm.
like I think that accommodations and cures should exist side by side. The issue is like the lack of agency that disabled people have on our own bodies and our own lives. Because like some of my disabilities I'm fine with keeping. Like I don't mind my astigmatism because all I need is a pair of glasses. I just want free glasses, and that's the
Period.
accommodations part. But I
Yeah.
objectively do not want my PCOS because it puts me in pain
Right.
and
It
it
puts you
gives
in
Yeah.
it,
pain.
and it causes other inconveniences and stuff, and not enough like disability affirmation and shit is gonna make me not hate this shit. I want it gone.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I also have PCOS, and like the only thing, because peace, it's a hormonal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Specific,
Yeah.
like if just to touch on PCOS real quick, it's a hormonal thing, and because it's a hormonal thing, and I already struggle with a chemical imbalance, that's a hot pot worth of crap right there. But like trying to get rid of it, I'm like the only like the things that could help get rid of stuff like PCOS that affect other disorders or disability is they're so expensive. It's so expensive. It's specifically in America.
And other stuff
But
is based in like infrastructure. Did you know that like part of the reason why PCOS is like so common for like black and brown women is because like our hormone imbalance is linked to metabolism and stuff, and due to like years of food insecurity due to like poverty and slavery, we've learned to process materials differently to keep from starving immediately, and that's linked to like the development of issues like endometriosis and PCOS. So like a lot of disabilities, pe- whenever people talk about change your environment, there is some truth to that because a lot of disabilities develop in certain demographics due to like environmental racism and stuff.
mhm.
Like for example, asthma is really high in black people because where our neighborhoods are located, they're usually near like plants, not
Yes.
and like other highly polluted things. There's like a place called Asthma Alley in New York near the Bronx because it
Yeah.
has no trees and stuff.
Yeah. And like how like literally your body can contribute to like not only physical disabilities but mental disabilities. Like I feel like my mental health wouldn't be as bad if as it was if I didn't have the physical disabilities that I do have,
Yeah.
specifically in relation to PCOS fucking up my hormones.
Yeah, for me as well, like I think one thing that I hate and I never actually like I don't know if it's a disability or not, but when it comes to like my endometriosis, like no matter
It is.
the pills that I'm on, oh it is. I
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
literally
Yeah,
like
endometriosis.
Pretty
I
much, if it keeps you
Never
from
literally
name by
doing a thing,
herself.
if it keeps you from doing a thing, it's a disability.
mm.
Hmm.
Cause like for me, like no matter what pills I'm on, no matter the insert or insert whatever that I have. I don't remember what it's called. But like no matter what I'm on to try and help it, it's not gonna ever stop the pain. Like if I'm stressed,
Yeah.
if I have a
Yeah.
flare up of anything else, it'll stress me out because it's very painful. And if I'm stressed out, then I will be in more pain because then I will start cramping. Even no matter what I'm on, it'll still trigger like bleeding, even though I'm like taking pills and multiple things to stop that. So that is
It's a
what I
endless
want.
cycle. It is a endless cycle.
It is. And I'm gonna be honest, like, even after this, like, that's why I also enjoy these discussions because you learn things. Because I'm literally about to get off and I'm gonna try and reach a doctor. Because what do you mean there's glasses to help with my astigmatism?
What do you mean?
Like, it's in
Girl,
I have
please.
one I have it in one eye, but like, I've been diagnosed, but they didn't tell me that there's glasses for it.
Oh my gosh. Mm-mm. And the one
Wild.
other thing with that whole like just the body in general, like working your body working against you in general, things that you take to help with problems in your body for endometriosis and PCOS, like medications and stuff, negatively affect the medications that you take for your mental disorders. Like
Yeah.
me, so I'm gonna break it down for y'all real quick. I suffer from migraine with aura. As a result, I cannot use birth controls to treat my PCOS that has hormone agents in it. So I can't get the real hormones that I need to treat the PCOS because it's gonna mess with the migraine with aura. I'm like, what is this?
It's actually terrible.
I cry. Like one time I
I
had
have
to change
something.
my birth
Sorry.
control. Sorry. One time I had to change my birth control because like estrogen leads to high blood pressure. And
That
I thought that it was like stuff from school and stuff getting my blood pressure high. No. Well, it yes, but that combined with my birth control, it was like
with the
no.
Yeah.
It was like no, and then I had to change it like twice, and I'm like, damn it, how many doctor visits do I have to go to? I want to live.
That's so
bruh,
tough.
bruh. It's like
Um,
you try to get treated for it with the medicine, but you can't take the medicine for everything because one of the medicines mess with
yeah.
the other thing.
And also being on medication for long term for certain things also give more problems later down the line for like your organs and stuff. It's like,
Yep.
damn, like I have to treat myself now, but then maybe in a couple of years I'll be this, I'll have this and this. It's like you're just racking up diagnosis as you go. It's just terrible.
And the
Poor
problem with
thing.
racking up diagnosis as you go, people start to be like, well, you just have everything. It's just something
Yes.
wrong with
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Literally,
exactly.
it's like we're right
Give
there to
me
lose you.
money.
Like, damn, like you can't, you're never gonna be happy. Like, okay. Anyways, it's
Ain't no
hard.
winning.
We're talking about a lot of like physical, environmental, all that stuff. I really want to bring up accessible
Pick
tech
a struggle.
and how like accessible tech is like huge for disabled creatives. I think for me and like shout out to PG and Angel, love my girls. But for me, with I have what do I even call it? Like I haven't been confirmed that I have this yet, but I have flare ups in my stomach all the time, and I think it's peptic ulcer disease. That's what I think it is.
Mm.
So I have so I have to take medication for it, and basically I have these flare ups when I eat, and sometimes even when I don't eat, I have these flare ups. It's like it's so annoying sometimes, but it debilitates me so bad. I'll literally be able to spend like I have to spend like the entire day or days, weeks even sometimes, depending on how bad it is, in bed, which means that I don't get to do anything I like for that whole time, and it just makes it so hard for me to like live life and be happy. And I can't get up and like, go on the computer unless I want to like suffer the whole time, right? So having accessible tech, and I'm gonna give a little shout out again, but Steam Decks are so helpful for people like me who have to like be bedridden, because I can at least do something that's helpful. And also for like my depression and my anxiety, I get on days that I'm like, girl, I cannot be bothered to get up. And I know gaming helps me, but I can't be bothered to get out of bed. Having the accessible tech to like be able to sit in bed and still be able to like connect and play games and vibe and chill without having to like get up and put myself in a more uncomfortable position is like huge. And I think like the world needs more accessible tech. Stuff like that needs to be created more for people who are going through a lot of things, because it's like accessibility is so important. It makes you feel so beautiful and seen and heard, and like you matter, and what happens to you does matter. So
Hmm.
like that conversation should be like something that is brought up. So anyone, any of those investors, those billionaires, if you want to make bank, like go ahead and make more accessible tech, because it's like people need it. People all over the world need it. It's so helpful.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
I wouldn't bring that like
Talking about
if
what
you don't know,
changes.
if you don't know though, if you don't know who Iron Mouse is, then you've obviously been living under a
Yes,
rock.
I
But
love
Iron
her.
Mouse is like the disabled, like biggest
Yes,
VTuber in the
VTuber.
creative space. And like watching her, and then like one of my friends getting me into it, I was like, oh my god, like I can't. This is something I can do. Like it lets me do things that I
Yes,
like to do while trying to, grow as a creative, like outside, instead of just like laying around all day doing the things I like to do and not putting it towards anything. Because like essentially before this, I had the mindset that, oh, I have all this talent, but I don't have the motivation, the drive, because of the mental stuff. I'm like, I just won't be able to do anything with it. I just had to like, it's because it's gonna be really difficult for me to do something. But I was like, oh crap, there's Iron Mouse out here. She struggles with her autoimmune disease, and even on days like when she's hurting or like feeling bad, she's like, oh yeah, I'll just roll over and I'll turn the game on and turn on Twitch and stream and talk to people, so I don't, you, be alone in that aspect, and just get your voice out there and be out there, like in, have a space, have a community, develop a community.
Hmm. And then we're talking about changes and stuff. I think that Twitch and like conventions should start requiring masks at conventions. I really don't like how people have been
absolutely.
handling COVID and stuff.
Mhm.
Like I know that it was quote unquote was traumatizing, but like it's still going on and it's still traumatizing. And
Hmm.
people are so desperate to maintain a sense of normalcy, but like our normal is ass. It's not sustainable.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And people prioritizing, say, aesthetics and comfort over like long-term help, it's literally killing people en masse. I think that conventions should require masking and like literally just do what we were doing during the beginning of the pandemic, where people were like decorating their mask and color coordinating it with their cosplay and stuff. Because like I do understand that health can be ugly and annoying, and decorating things makes it more bearable because it's just like you're going to be dealing with this on a regular basis, so make it nice. Like
Yeah.
there's so many like disabled channels that is just like, yeah, I bedazzled my pill bottle, or how some wheelchair people, they have like different color wheelchair covers and stuff, because you got to deal
Yeah.
with this all the time, so you might as well make it look nice. So
Pretty. Yeah.
doing stuff like that, upgrading the ventilation systems in these conventions and stuff, because that's part of the issue. Because like I've seen videos of people going into opera houses, and they're built in a certain way to have the air circulate so you could hear better, and they don't even need a PA system because these are like really old opera houses. They were meant to be heard whether you had the tech or not, and they actually circulate air a lot better. And it's just like these conventions, they make so much money bleeding us dry, whether that's through Artist Alley or just booking for the venue. Invest in infrastructure to make these venues safer and to promote public health, especially because as VTubers, we depend on our throat and lungs to perform. The visuals
Hmm.
draw people in, but
Yeah.
it's our voices that keep people here. And
Yeah.
it's a shame that that's not seen as something to protect because we want to feign normalcy and stuff.
Yeah. It's that very toxic mindset of it's not happening to me, so why should I care?
And the
And
worst part about it, it
that
is
needs to
happening.
change.
It
It
is
is.
happening to
It's
everybody.
not
Like
it's
COVID
not
has
uh,
advanced.
affecting them directly. Like I'm not sick, so like I don't have a cough. I'm not sick. None of I didn't lose anyone during this whole pandemic, so
And it's
why
just
should
like
I care? But it's like you
you
should care
are
about other
sick,
people.
you just don't have symptoms and you're spreading it.
Hmm.
okay, can I just do this real quick?
Hmm.
I had got a raid. Thank you, Curse Savior, for raiding with 7 people. Thank you, and everybody, welcome in.
Hi,
We are
dear.
Amen.
discussing our um what it's like being a disabled creative in the creative space and outside. So welcome in, and thank you, everybody.
Welcome in, y'all.
Hmm.
But yeah, back to what y'all was saying. My bad.
We were talking about
You're
what different
good.
places should do to like like with platforms and stuff. And I mentioned conventions because TwitchCon
Mhm.
Yes.
and
I
like the
definitely agree with
Yeah.
that.
I think it's so cool that like people like Iron Mouse and like VTubers in general are able to like roam around VidCon. Like I just recently watched a lot of Anime Expo vlogs and stuff. Like they have the motorized like tablets and stuff, so people like Mouse can attend events technically without actually like being there in person and it not be detrimental to their health.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Honestly, more of that. More of that. We need more of that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Affordable, please, because I know
Affordable.
those
Yes.
little monitor like
They cost an arm and a leg.
Segway
Like, yeah.
thingies are not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, you think that are going to be accessible, affordable for not just a certain like demographic of people, but literally that are going to be helping everyone because not only famous and popular and rich people are going through things, like there are regular people like your neighbors who are also going through things. So having it be affordable would be so helpful for the whole world, like
Mm-hmm.
truly.
Hmm. One of the shifts in like attitudes that I want to see from like platforms and businesses from Twitch is like for me like the vibe that I get, and I feel like it's not wrong. I don't think I have to work for Twitch and be in these businesses to be to know this or not, but it's like it's just the way that like for representation, I feel like they just hire a certain amount of like disabled people to where like it looks good enough and it looks like you're working towards like representing them and making places accessible when in reality like it's literally just to meet a quota.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in all the aspects when it comes to like making like Twitch or anything more accessible for disabled people are never a part of the discussion. Like you just hire them
Mm-hmm.
and you don't listen to them. It's still like the infantilization of abled people like discussing how to help us, and especially like even if they listen to some of their like disabled team members, it's also like you're reaching a quota for this like disabled like workers, but you're not also thinking about how identities intersect and how like BIPOC people will still face being disabled and having that experience completely different than their white counterparts. And like having an entire team of like white disabled people will still not reach the needs of BIPOC because
Hmm.
it's just there's layers into the
Absolutely.
system that they won't experience. Like they don't experience everything that we do. It's like you're working towards quote unquote equality, but the problem here is like more of equity. Like just because you have a marginalized identity doesn't mean that you will understand everything that we go through.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I do want to say I am kind of happy that Twitch, you know, did the like the new affiliate goals, like what you need to do to achieve affiliate. Because when I first started before it changed, I was like, okay, this feel like it's gonna be a little impossible. Like it's gonna take me a minute to get here, and I'm like, I can't sit and stream for what was it like 20 hours within 30 days or something like that or
Mm-hmm.
something like that before they changed it, and now it's I think it's only like 10 hours, and like you only need like what was it 20 followers and 3 consecutive viewers or something.
Yes.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean like it's the little things that count like that, especially like for disabled creators, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
And
but
then I
yeah.
can go ahead and move on to the next one. But one thing that I had also wanted to ask, Blue, if you want to go ahead and answer this one, of like what kind of visibility or representation for the disabled community feels like most needed right now, especially in creative spaces, and what impact are we looking for that kind of representation to have?
um okay, so you said a lot of big words like really fast, so my brain is catching up. I Or like you just saying talking like as somebody like newer to it, or just like from what I've experienced so far.
From what your experience, because it's also like I think that when it comes to visibility, like it's also things that you would want to see yourself as a viewer, not just as a creative.
stop romanticizing to stop romanticizing like the overall like, oh, you can do it if you just put your mind to it, like mindset thing, if that makes sense. It's
Yeah.
like I've watched nothing but like I won't say I watched nothing, but like watching YouTube and watching Twitch, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, as I struggle with ADHD and I have to do these things, and it just do it, and this is what works for me." And I'm like, "Okay, that works for you, and you're putting out the information like, oh, these are things that like it helps that like, oh, these are options. There's options out there, but like." If I don't see it in like my community, then it's like I can't really apply those things,
Mm-hmm.
especially like with being in the creative space. Like everybody that I see in the creative space is either white or like 90% white, or like not, they're just not people of BIPOC, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm disabled," or I struggle with this thing, and this is some way everybody that if you have, let's say everybody with ADHD can to make it work for them to be a creative, and you just have to do it. And I'm like, okay, that I wish that applied to me, but it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It, and like something else I want to see is like some people do it. I can't think of anybody that does it like right now. It's more like aside, like I said, a lot of people do the romanticizing the but I guess that it doesn't apply to like the overall like the platform. It just kind of be between person to person. But any like creators that are out there, if like have some more of those behind the scenes, like those more like the realness of it. It just seems like everything is like superficial and surface level, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that makes sense.
So like that's what my goal is with my channel and stuff, is like, hey, I'll get on here, and if I get on here and I crying because like it's randomly I just want to burst, like I burst into tears, then I'm not gonna turn the camera off because I'm embarrassed. This is a safe space.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that really answered the question. I think
No,
I
I
lost
feel
it
like
somewhere
that
in the
does.
sauce.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, showing the full spectrum of experiences. With me, I'd like to see some more. Of course, this is kind of exclusive to physical disability because I don't think any, like, none of the mental really show unless it's like, I guess, self harm and stuff. But I would like people to incorporate their disability in their designs.
Yep,
Like I
yeah, that's
really
fair.
like
Yes.
Sprout and stuff with him having a wheelchair, and I think at some point he's planning on having different toggles for each season because he's a fruit VTuber. But one thing that I've considered is like having an inhaler toggle because I do use one. And then there's some that I have seen. There's a jellyfish VTuber named, excuse me, I need some water. Shit. There's a jellyfish VTuber I know named Nyx, and she has lore about like merging with an immortal jellyfish, and she has like a large scar on her belly, and that was because of some, I can't remember because it's been months since we've talked about it, but it was some kind of gastral procedure that she had to do, and it gave her permanent scars, and she incorporated that into her design. And I know that people aren't obligated to do that because like
Of course.
it's not people's business, and not everybody who does VTubing plays themselves. Some people make an entirely different creators, so they can have that level of separation. But for the people who do play themselves and do have something to show, whether that's like a scar or a disability aid and stuff, it would be nice to like have that incorporated and stuff. Like for example, I suffer from eczema as well. So that was one thing that I did forget in the list. So I have dry patches of skin in different areas. And even though the freckles that I have don't match the exact areas where I have eczema, it's like, yeah, these are dry spots.
That's beautiful. I didn't even know that about the design.
Like my VTuber model, I would have to come out with my PNG tuber model. I would have to come out with a whole like lore explanation video, like personality, like personal thing about it eventually. I mean, I plan on to, but a lot of people ask me like, why the object head, why the TV head, you know, aspect, like why are you so obsessed with that? And I'm like, well, one, obviously because of influences in anime and stuff, but because I suffer from mental disorder, everything is in my head. So what do you change on your VTuber? And I was like, that's what a lot of people like that in the object head, TV head like community. It's like we're so trapped inside our minds, like if it's like this, like mental disability wise, and not being able to comfortably express that. And I have a video. I think the video or TikTok that I just posted. I was like, I feel comfortable now. I feel like I'm in the right skin because it's not just like I don't have a problem showing my face or anything when I am doing like real life stuff or real life streaming or anything, or even on my YouTube channel where you can obviously see my face. But I was like, when I finally finished like redesigning my PNG tuber to what it is now with the TV head toggle, because I can toggle it on and off, but like y'all won't see it on y'all other streams for the people that's looking at my stream. But it's like this is like I feel comfortable in this like space. Like even though everything is in my everything may just be like what it is in my mind. This is I like the best way I can think to represent it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's actually beautiful. Um, I what I want to say. I don't know if it really like directly correlates, but it's something that I just feel like needs like a quick discussion. I think um I think a lot of people, and then I'm gonna bring up Iron Mouse again because I feel like she doesn't get enough love. Um,
I
I
feel
don't
like
know
she does.
if
She's pretty much
anyone.
top.
She
No, but
pretty
I
much
feel
does.
like okay, yeah, like that. But like, I don't think people are understanding like how much like she's like how people in the VTubing space. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I
Mhm.
think people look at VTubing as like, you're probably ugly, you're probably this, you don't want to show your face, da 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 da. But I think when you listen to Iron Mouse's story, and I don't know if you guys know why she VTube like, is a VTuber, but it's not
Wanting
because of
financial
anything else.
independence.
Yeah, well, but like I think for like the huge reason why she is so comfortable with like the character in the VTuber she has is because she has an autoimmune disease. She has tubes and things coming out from all over her body and face, and that would make her feel self-conscious or insecure to have a regular cam up. And of course, even if she was so confident in doing so, people are really rude online. People
Oh,
are very mean
definitely.
and people are very judgmental, and that no one needs to be putting themselves and their vulnerabilities out there for someone else to criticize. And I think what she's brought to this VTubing space is so beautiful because she literally lets you like understand that like not every single person who's having a VTuber is because they're this way or that way. Some people like VTubing is such an amazing thing for people who have physical disabilities to still be able to participate in the streaming world and still keep their identity and like their vulnerability safe to themselves, but still be able to do everything else anyone any other what I call them flesh tubers would be able to do. And I think that is like such a beautiful thing. So having more like understanding and appreciation for the art of VTubing is like so important because it's not just the way you think it is and what you think people are doing it for. It's so much bigger than that. And I don't think that's like spoken about enough.
I did mention financial disability because I do remember a stream where she talked about a lot of disabled folks, even if we do have a supportive family, one of the things that we fear is becoming a burden, especially when
Oof.
especially when
Yeah.
our disorders become worse. Because even if you have a supportive family, if they're not rich and they have to spend time like taking care of you and stuff, that also puts finances on them at risk. So wanting to have that level of independence, not just so you don't have to depend on others, because that does put you in a dangerous situation sometimes, but also
Yeah.
because you don't want to stress out the people that you do care about, even if they're good to you. So VTubing also gave her, and it gives a lot of people who are at least successful, an option to be able to provide for themselves. It's kind of why I
Yeah.
keep bringing up COVID, because like COVID is a disability, and it's a disabling disorder because it exasperates existing conditions and it causes long-term like bodily damage. Like I even there's been recent studies about it actually making stuff like cancer worse, right? And another thing is that disability is an inevitability. Like that's the one thing that nobody that's the one marginalization that nobody can escape. And with VTubing being an accessible way to work, and the only like remote option that has stayed past lockdown, it's something big about that, and it's like very unfortunate that we saw what workplace accessibility could be for disabled people through remote, but then that got taken away and stuff after lockdown because real estate and other stuff. But to see VTubing as a thing continue to be both an outlet and also an option for like disabled success, it's
Yeah,
nice to see.
it is.
Mhm. I think for me, like some of the things that I want to see more of is like basically kind of what this panel is every day. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yes.
just getting people talking and letting our spaces be more safe for like our struggles, for the positives or anything that comes to mind when it comes to being disabled to the point where everything is normalized, because it shouldn't have to take for like this panel for me to feel comfortable to talk about the things that I go through when, because like the majority of the time I try not to really share. Every now and then I disappear quite a bit and I'll have to share like, oh, I got a little bit of this and this or a flare up. But it's like I just want to be able to share things, especially like if I'm just having a rough day or something like that or a flare up. I just want to be able to share it without it being like a pity party of like, oh, I'm so sorry you have to live your life this way, I can't imagine having what you have, this and that. Like I
But you
feel
know
like
what you can do?
everyone,
Send me some money.
yeah, like I feel like everyone can talk about like if they have like if they're a little depressed or if they have like an injury or anything that they're struggling with on out in their outside life, like, or if they're having like a rough time. If people want to vent about negative shit going on, like, you know, people will sit there and they'll understand and they'll be like, "Oh, it'll get better," or like, sorry you have to go through that, or let's have fun. But it's like anything that I talk about, like if I were to be negative about like my disability, then it feels like it's just validating people that already look at me and be like, oh my god, I knew it. Like I'm so grateful that I'm not like that. I'm so grateful I don't have autism
Yes.
or this and that. I'm so grateful. And it also, I feel like it validates people's thinking of like, oh, no one should have to live this life or be born this way, to the point where like it's just, I feel like it fuels a bit of like almost a eugenics mindset of like they like this type of thing needs to be eradicated because who could live this way? Like I just want to vent a little bit and have a negative day like everyone else without y'all feeling like you have to save me or get rid of me entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Or the opposite side of that is people assuming that you're fishing for attention. And it's
Yes.
like I'm
Yes.
not
That's
even
insane.
I was like, I'm just having a hard day, and I feel like if anybody else is having a hard day, they need to know that it's okay to talk about having a hard day. But
Mm-hmm.
because it has been so repressed and pressed down upon so much, like Jay was saying, being a burden, I'm like, in my mind, the moment I try to talk about how I'm feeling, I'm automatically complaining, and
Yeah.
I'm making a big deal out of nothing. And God forbid I say it on the internet, because people get behind these computer screens and feel like they can just say anything, and they be
Yeah.
like, oh, you're
Very
attention
true.
whore, you're looking for attention, you're just desperate, and there's
Yes.
nothing really. I'm like, bruh, I'm just clock out. I'm gonna clock out.
Yes.
And
And
like
they love to compare as well, to be like, well, I can do it. Like I can have a terrible day and still be this and still be that. And
it's
it's
just like
like,
good for
I'm
you, mother.
girl, congratulations. Like, do you want the whole fucking cookie jar? Like, what else do you want? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that is amazing for you, but it's so invalidating for people who can do that. And I think that like people just need to also understand that like not everyone is looking for sympathy. Not everyone's looking for you to be like, oh my gosh, like we get it, or like here's some advice. Like some people really just love to be heard. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
how many things in this world would be so solved if someone just gave a nice environment to just be like, hey, this is how I feel, this is what I'm going through, and they go, damn, I hear you, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know
Oh,
what I mean? We don't always need to. There's not. It doesn't have to always be a solution. The
Mm-hmm.
solution sometimes is just listening.
Yeah,
and let me
because
give an
like I'm a
example. Oh,
very
my bad.
oh sorry.
No,
I was like,
you
what I
good.
could
You good.
talk.
You good.
So
You
Like,
like
good.
have points.
so
Of points.
like
Have
I tend to
points.
be independent with stuff because it's not necessarily with family, but like folks outside of that. Like
Yeah.
outside of the house, you can't depend on people. And whenever I get to a point where I want to vent, it's because I've already tried the thing and it didn't work. So
Yes.
I'm just letting
Yeah.
off steam. Just let me talk shit because if I
Exactly.
hold it in, then it's going to be a whole other problem.
Blow up in somewhere else. It blows up in a different direction also. And then also it facilitates an environment that feels like you can't just be upset. And then that is so damaging to, first of all, other people who are perhaps watching from the outside in, and then also to like yourself. Then you feel like, damn, I can't even just have like a bad day without someone thinking like I'm attention seeking or I'm doing
Hmm.
this. And not to say that
Or
some
even
people
being
aren't doing that.
self-hating, because like
Yeah,
one thing that I
exactly.
dislike about some disability positivity is that you can't be upset about your own condition because it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
you're internalizing, and it's just like, no, my pain is like my ovaries hurt.
Yes.
Actually, my ovaries hurt. The pain is internal, and just because I don't like my condition doesn't mean that I'm dehumanizing other people with the condition or just with conditions in general. It doesn't mean that I want the state to have control over my body because, like, why is my disability treated as an inconvenience to you when I'm the one dealing with it?
Yes.
And it doesn't
And
mean necessarily that I want to get rid of it. It's more like some of the symptoms are just ass. Now there are some that I
and
would get rid
Yeah.
of. I want my PCOS gone. I swear to God.
I heard you, sister. I wish I could help you with that.
I
But
can
my
give a
other
quick
ones,
example.
I'm fine with.
Hmm.
I can give a quick example for like this for my IRL life is I work for a big corporate retail company, right? Like
Period.
the minimum wage retail company like job. And I get up I get up on time, go to work every day, work for the most part with no problem, and then go home and be completely drained. I'd be like, oh, staying on routine is so difficult for me, right? I'll say that,
Yeah.
or I'll complain, or I'd say complain. I'll vent about you, like, oh, I struggle, doing this in regards to like being a creative, and then somebody will hit me with the well, like, well, you got to work every day with no problem.
Yeah,
That's because
because
I
I
have
have no
to.
choice but to go to
Just
work.
because
Nah.
I have to.
These bills need to be paid, mama. Like what?
And the fear of the scarcity mindset, that's like the overall arching thing. The scarcity mindset is, oh, I want to be able to live alone, I want to be able to feed myself, this, that, and the other, and all of that could be gone the moment I don't have a job. So I'm gonna go to work
Yeah.
and work because I have to, not because I want to, or because I like this job and specifically. And it does something to you over time, like
It
constantly
does.
being like that.
I don't think anyone I don't think that like the whole like I have to work, if not then these things are taken away from me. Like I just don't think that anyone should be living off of like paycheck to paycheck or living off of like I need to go through, I have to do this, I have to do this. Like, girl, take the mental health day, take the day off. Like, and it's so much easier said than done because people know I can't afford to do that. I
Mm-hmm.
can't do that. And it's just like such a debilitating thing because it literally puts you in that work mindset, and that just like deteriorates your brain further because you don't get to have that one 12-hour 24-hour day just to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, because
And
some
it's
things
very,
should
very
just
sad.
be guaranteed. Like, I personally
Yeah,
wouldn't mind having to work for an art book or for a new PC and stuff because those aren't necessities. But, like, it's dehumanizing to have to work to live, to
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
justify
That's why I
being here.
say that people are like, oh, I get to, well, they're like, well, I get this whole thing, I get to work paycheck to paycheck, and it's like that's not life, babes. That should never be the minimum. Like, no one should be working enough to pay their bills, so you can't even go and treat yourself one day because if you do that then you won't have the ability to pay your light bill. That's not life. Like, that's crazy. God forbid you want to get a smoothie one day. Nah, nah, nah.
Yeah.
Gotta stick to the plan. Like, you want to get an extra coffee one day because you're super tired. You can't do that because then your whole light's gone for a month. Like, that's wicked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's so
Yeah.
crazy to me. And people think that should be normalized. And they're like, I'm
When
like,
humans
there's
the
no
only
way.
humans are the only species that's paying rent.
Yes. And
We're the
then
only
God forbid you want
ones.
to do anything else, like any odd jobs or anything else that's gonna support you, then you get judged for that too. Like, what do you mean you did it? Like, it's like you literally cannot live or win in this world without someone hating something you're doing. Like, it's
Bruh.
insane. So it's like just live for you, baby girl. Like, just do you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tiring enough that like we have to be our own advocates because sometimes we are tired and we just want to roll over, but we can't roll over because we're already getting stomped on. Like no one else is
Yes.
going to fight for us and
And
no
who's
one
gonna do it?
acknowledges
Yeah.
that not only is it like it's a traumatizing experience alone to be disabled in this life with a world that doesn't care about you and needs you to explain why they should care about you, but it's also just traumatizing to also like do basically what everyone else has to do. Like everyone kind of has to fight to survive, but we have to fight to survive while telling people, "Hey, we are struggling differently." Like it's a traumatizing experience and no one ever
Mhm.
thinks that like there's a traumatizing aspect to being disabled alone.
Yeah. And
Yes.
sometimes like the hard work is worth it, but when it's like when there's like a thing where it's like, okay, I'm doing all this and then here's I'm doing this for this. And sometimes you're doing a lot of hard work for like no reward. Like there's nothing you win or get to collect at the end of it. It's like you're just doing hard work to do hard work. And then it's like, okay. And that gets super draining too.
And then for I want to also ask at least for like one of the positives here is like Jayla, if you would like to answer like who do you look towards or what kind of achievements do you see that's like making big moves for the disabled community, like what kind of breakthroughs or people or organizations that are pushing the game forward for disabled folks in like creative fields and online spaces.
Um, let's see. In creative fields or online spaces, I do like how the internet helps people to communicate and connect more. Like it's a good, I say, starting point. Although I don't think that it's creative specific. Like whenever I see people like Iron Mouse or even say Sprout, who's on like the smaller end of success and stuff, I don't necessarily see that as an inherent win for the community, because just because they succeed doesn't necessarily mean that there's like infrastructural change,
Yeah.
especially when their stories are like very individualized with how they were able to do that. But seeing the work of disabled people being able to communicate with each other and consolidate important resources, like what I consider wins are more like IRL stuff, like say mass blocks, how people have coordinated with each other to distribute masks and respirators and air purifiers to their local neighborhoods and stuff. And it's mainly about connecting, because one of the issues of being disabled is like being isolated, and the internet has been an equalizer with being able to connect with people. And I've seen stories of folks traveling across state lines just to send physical stuff to a friend that they made online and helping with that. And I think that we should continue to do that. It's just a matter of writing down how to do that and making those resources available and people continuing those grassroots things.
Yeah.
Um, with on the one question of the other changes in the creative space that like I want to see is I'm trying to get into artist alleys as a creative, like here recently. That's one of my goals. And something I noticed is like for convention play, like conventions and cons and stuff like that, they have the options for proxies, but most of them don't, which is really crazy to me because you'll have disabled artists like myself that I don't do well in really big environments for long periods of time.
Mhm.
being like dealing with my disability. Like I'll go to like I enjoy conventions. I get to a con and I immediately get overwhelmed. I'm talking about crying for like an hour and a half before I can actually enjoy it. And
Mhm.
as somebody who wants to start doing artist alleys and stuff like that, and putting my artwork out there in real life, it like I know there are cons that do let you have proxies, but most of them don't. Like they're not catering to people who may suffer, or not catering. That's not the right word to use. Accommodating in different aspects for people that struggle with disabilities. Like not just saying like wheelchair accessible stuff like that. Just in general, like people that want to be artists or exhibitors and stuff like that in convention settings.
Mhm.
So yeah, like proxy of it, like proxies being allowed for events like that,
Mm.
or just more accommodating to the physical aspects as well. Because like convention centers, like artist alleys, all if you've ever watched the artist alley, that those tables be right next to each other. It's not wills. It's not like physically physical disability accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't. I say this as in they still have. I feel like everyone and a lot of companies have a lot of things they can still do, but I will give credit where credit is due. And I think Twitch is honestly doing really good. And again, they can still do more. It doesn't have to stop there with giving more accessibility to everyone with like the closed captions and
Mm-hmm.
audio descriptions, the alt text and screen reader compatibilities. The only problem I think is like it's not compatible on all devices. And where I say Twitch, I also think that like streaming platforms like OBS has a built-in closed captions and Streamlabs doesn't. Why is that? Like there
Mm-hmm.
needs to be like accessibility throughout. One thing can't offer and the other one is kind of like, yeah, we don't really need it. Like as much as Twitch is doing an amazing job with the small changes they've done, I just hope and encourage them to continue on this path of making everything accessible on every sort of device and the compatibility on everything. So that's like what I just really am hoping we get for streamers and for disabled creatives because it's like we all need it. And if you were a streamer, you're not thinking that like someone could come across that this could be helpful for, start thinking that because it's not only everyone deserves to be able to watch a stream and enjoy your personality and like what you bring to this community. So it's like, yeah, yeah. I think that's all I have to say about that.
Mm-hmm. Liz, is there any like achievements or people that you would want to highlight?
Uh, achievements or people I want to highlight.
Yeah, but that's you feel like have been making moves and like pushing the disabled community forward or doing any positives.
Um, you asked, and now my brain is drawing a complete blank. So no, I can't think. Like my brain just drawing a blank right now. So no, I can't think of. Besides, like who I already talked about. Everybody know Iron Mouse for the most part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like one person for me is like the founder of my stream team, the DC3, the disabled
Come on,
con
Shadow. Yes.
the
Mm-hmm.
DC3 has been a huge help. Like Chi Chi founded this in around like 2022, and it's like it's not an official like disabled Twitch guild or anything like that, but like it's pretty significant. It's been pretty successful in my eyes. Like we have like over 100, like around 100 members, and like either they also help like organize along with Chloe like this raid train alone that we're taking a part of. It has like
Hmm.
147, 150 people that I've been able to like have slots filled and join, and it's and the way that they highlight like disabled people and like give them resources, but it's also they're part of the whole reason why I wanted to join this dream team is because it's very BIPOC forward. Like he understands the way that identities intersect, how underrepresented BIPOC are, and how important it is. Like even before this raid train was released to the public for people to join, our team was given like first grabs to claim slots, but they also made sure to mention and highlight like, hey, like for our white counterparts and team members, like if we could please wait and give space for BIPOC to come forward and like take their slots first, so that way they have a chance because we're still BIPOC forward, and I feel like it's incredible work that they've been doing and are continuing to work towards for years now.
That's beautiful.
Yep, that's great.
Yeah. And then if we want to go around, like I'd also want to like highlight your guys' work and like what are you guys looking forward to moving forward?
Oof.
I'm slowly going through a soft rebrand. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes though. Pretty much, I'm going to make a new PNG model. I'm doing different outfit designs, and I have been sharing whips for that. But it's mainly updating graphics and trying to come up with more cohesive lore because I'm getting back into world building again.
Mm.
So y'all will see the long process of that. I'm not balling like that, so part of the reason why it's gonna be taking a while is because I'm making the graphics myself. Because it's just like what one of the great things about an artist, about being an artist, if you can't buy a graphic, you can make it. It just takes time.
Period. Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
But I got whips and stuff of me coming up with different outfits and whatnot.
I'm excited to see
Congratulations.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, looking forward to it.
yeah.
And
Um,
stalk all your socials.
for me, I think like since I kind of started streaming and realized like, hey, I could kind of be cut out for this. Um, I have had the hugest, biggest dream to just do literally things like this. Activist work, being involved in communities and servers and teams and anyone that's pushing the agenda forward for more accessibility, more visibility, anything like that. I want to be in workshops, I want to be in charity tournaments, I want to support the world, and I just want to do everything that is bigger and better than anything. Like that's truly just what I want to do. Like there's just so much that Twitch has been able, Twitch and even just being in the Unity Guild has been able to provide for me, and just seeing that like there are people in the world who do want to hear from people like us and our experiences and how they can like and hear from disabled creatives themselves and like what we can do to make things more accessible, easier, better for us. And I just want to be involved in like any community that is pushing that agenda forward. Like that is
Mm-hmm.
literally all I've been asking. Like I literally was so happy. I think I was streaming when Peachy was like, yeah, I'm doing this panel, and I was like, you want me to be here? And I was like, I want this. Like this is literally all I've been dreaming of. When I got into my first charity tournament, I was like, this and more. Like how can I make this myself? It's like that's all I've wanted. Like since I was a kid, I was like, I just want to make someone happy. I just want to make people feel seen and feel heard, because I feel like that's what I would want for myself when I was growing up. And being able to have small opportunities to start a conversation and do stuff like that, like that is just that's I literally could die tomorrow and be like, I did something with my life, and I would feel so fulfilled with that, because I'm not just I have a platform. It's this very small one, but it is something, and I want to use it just to keep pushing the agenda that like we deserve to be seen, loved, valid, like visible, and we don't need to be in this little box. We don't need to put ourselves in small little boxes and fit into a world that's not created for us. We will create what needs to be there for us. And I just want to keep pushing that agenda forward as far as the world will let me and as far as I'm alive to do so. So that's kind of what I want to do with it's what I see myself doing in the future.
Got us all crying in the chat. Okay, Missy.
Bye bye y'all. Let me get y'all some tissue papers.
Yeah.
I guess it's my turn now. I guess I have to.
Mm-hmm.
um, I have a lot of things coming up and a lot of things planned. Um, I Words elude me every time. I got some projects coming up with friends and stuff that's pushing towards my goal of being, I guess at this point I'll be essentially my own distributor. So for those who
Yeah,
don't
Blue
know,
got a
I do
store.
yeah, I have an
Yeah.
online store and shop where I make and craft everything by hand. So from stickers to tote bags to t-shirts to even keychains. I make like the keychains at home and everything. And a good friend of mine said my longest online internet friend, shout out to Sai, she she's making an attempt, like a whole contract for me to officially be her distributor within America, making stickers and stuff for her and distributing those things, and on top of doing my own stuff. I guess you could also say I'm doing a little rebranding. I'm completely and wholeheartedly focusing in and locking in on the things that bring me joy.
Period.
Despite what me trying to cater to, different communities, I'm like, I'm getting to cater to everybody. If I make my own, I make my own community. I make my own
Exactly.
space, and that's what I want to be. Even though I'm still struggling with like being a consistent creator, I'm taking the steps, and people are seeing that. People are seeing the effort that I am putting in, even if I do disappear for like a month or a couple of weeks or so. When I do come back, I come back, with the like, yeah, I struggled, and I make sure I let everybody know that I appreciate them for sticking around for like all of this, because even with this panel here, as you can say, I'm not one to take an instead for I'm not an ambitious person, but if somebody reaches out a hand to me like Peach did and it's like, hey, I want you to be a part of something, I'll jump like a frog and I'll be a part of
Backflips
something.
and all.
I
Like,
but I
yes.
like I'm just not that person, and like I want to get to a point where I am that person, but
Yeah.
that's a whole thing of like getting over the mental challenges I do struggle from. Um, and being the first step forward, and I'm doing that to some extent. Like I can say I'm proud of myself, and I see myself doing that to some extent with specifically my YouTube channel and things like that. And I made a whole life plan. I was like, this is my get my shit together. Okay, right. This ADHD friendly and stuff like that. Like for me, and so I'm finally seeing those things, and I'm making those moves, like with my store, and like I said, wanting to get out into Artist Alley. I won't be able to do any of them this year, but definitely next year. If y'all are doing cons, anything like that, I hope to be one of those people you see there. Um, with my whole little cute little booth and setup and stuff like that, and just working on
Aw.
more projects like this with you all and Peach, Jayla, and Missy, on future panels and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I would love that.
For me, I'm honestly looking forward to continue streaming even with like my disabilities flaring up. Like my 1 year debut anniversary is coming up soon, and I'm really hoping to see through like my GTA marathon before like GTA 6 comes out, because I want to be, it's like a pretty big ask, but I want to be one of the first to like 100% GTA 6 live. And I'm also like, after having opened up my VGym recently, I want to continue working closely as an artist for others. Because that is one thing that I've found out real quick, is that I honestly, I've made like my own stuff for so long, especially like making my own assets, because I don't have the money to hire artists, that I'd rather work and make art for other people at this point. Like I've kind
Yeah.
of burnt through making my own stuff, and I especially want to have like that BIPOC focus when it comes to my work. So I'm just honestly looking forward to like being in these spaces and working with everyone and having a good time in this community, and being grateful for all these opportunities that come our way.
Period.
Yes.
Y'all are gonna do great work, and I'm excited to be a part of it and to see everyone just like flourish and get everything done. I'm gonna be cheering y'all on the sidelines. Like, period. I'm here for all of this. It's really beautiful.
Look, I may have a mental breakdown every now and again, but look, don't let me have one alone. We can do it
Gotta do what you
together.
gotta do, sister.
We
You
can do
gotta
it
do what you gotta
together.
do. Right.
Yeah, I'm
Look,
so
right now I'm
glad that
emotional.
everyone.
I'm crying. I'm not even gonna cap. I'm crying right now.
Oh,
I'm so
get it
glad that
all
everyone
out.
was able to join though, and that you
Yeah,
guys
thanks for having
were able
us.
to trust me. Like I genuinely, I felt so all over the place, and like had moments where like I felt like I was failing y'all. And I think that's the part that got me so much is to be able to have y'all help me, especially with like assets. Like, Blue working on the background and Missy having been able to make like the promo graphic, like it's really helped a lot in like being able to push this forward and being on time with everything. So I really appreciate it.
Of
No
course.
problem. I may
We
wait till
wouldn't
the
be here
last
without
minute, but I'm
you.
gonna get it.
Yeah.
I'll wait till the last minute, but
Yeah.
I get it done.
One thing about it is like we're all this is why I say like it's so beautiful to be part of a community because when you say like, oh, I can't do this, I'm not sitting here like, girl, just fucking get it done. We're all like, girl, we get it. Like we all have our own thing. Like we're very understanding and we see each other, and I think that's what makes this work so well, even if it was done the fucking hour before. It got done and we all understood each other and no one's judging you. Like no one's saying like, damn, Peachy's the fucking worst. Like we're like, girl, you did the thing.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Look,
mama.
you
Like
got
you
it
stepped
together.
up.
You
You know
planned
what I
it.
mean?
You made sure you
Yeah.
had people. You made sure. I was like, look, the least I can do is take a little off your plate and do something.
Exactly.
Cause that's
Girl.
the least I can do. Cause I couldn't even begin to think to set up something like this. Like I said, I am not an ambitious person. I do not just think to do something. But if somebody reach out
Yeah.
and like say, hey, I need help, before guess what? I'm gonna be there.
Every time. Every time like clockwork. No, for sure. Like you saw how fast I hopped on AE was open quickly. Things were added. I was like, let's get together. Let's get this done. And that day I finished it that same day, girl, I'm on top of it because first of all, I don't even do graphic design. You don't even like really doing too much. But I was like, for you, trust me, I'm gonna bring any minimal skill. I'm gonna put it to work. I'm gonna put
Also,
it
I
done.
want to shout out Peach. Peach, I want to shout you out because you were the first
For
person
sure.
to reach out
Yeah.
to me and do a collab. You were the very first person. When I joined the
Period.
Melanin Mafia and we clicked like that, you were the very first person, and you were my very first collab ever. Like I had never done a collab before this, or before that, the very first one we did where we just sat there, we chatted, and we drew, and
Yeah.
that meant
Of
so much to
course.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
Oh,
That is
thank
actually
y'all so
gorge.
much.
Nah, thank you, girl. We would not be here without you, truly.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And this has been a very insightful experience.
It's been awesome.
I'm so glad. I'm also gonna go ahead then, and I wanna like go ahead and put over the raid train message. That way we can keep this train going.
Yeah, who we
Yay.
going up to
So who are we?
next?
We are going over to, and
Does
I'm
it
gonna go
only
ahead
take
and
one person or because we
uh,
stream together or do we all give us
I
Oh
the
don't
no,
know.
name
her
so we can
stream will
all
go.
I
Okay.
don't know how
Yeah,
to. I don't know how to rate.
If you
I'm not
guys
even
Raid
gonna
want
cap.
to, I think if you want to raid to them, you definitely can though. Yeah.
put the name in like the Discord
yeah. Let me go ahead and put the name in there, cause like
so I know
I
how to spell
honestly,
it.
I still don't know how like what's it called? How stream together fully works.
Same.
I, I don't
I've
know how
used it like
anything
3 times.
works.
Oh, I love stream together. That's
Also,
my
guys,
girl.
thank you for the follows and stuff. I usually
Oh
don't get.
yes, thank
I usually
you,
don't
Thank
get
you.
to
Thank you.
chat during collabs because, like,
thank
if I do
you,
that, I will lose. I will lose it.
thank
Like,
you for
I
everyone that
gotta
was
be
here
focused
as
on
well.
one thing
Like
at a time. But love
let's give you guys
y'all.
some credit too for like being here. The people who stayed for the whole 2 hour, people who came in for a little bit, the
Hmm.
lurking, like the people that are a part of the train to begin with. Like thank y'all, all of y'all for your attendance because there ain't no panel without people. So thank you for
That
being
part.
here.
Let me see if I can figure out how to do this.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. I really appreciate everything. I went ahead and sent over the person's at, and I think it's just like
Backslash raid, and then you don't put the at. You
Yeah,
just put the name.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, paste. No at. No at.
No at.
Okay.
So thanks for everybody who came.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you to
you.
everybody who showed up, even the people that like that I was posting about on like Facebook and stuff. I was like, I don't know none of the people that I'm friends with, family that I'm friends with on Facebook know what I'm talking about half the time. But hey, if you from Facebook or from what's that other one? Instagram. Hello, thank you.
Thank you all so much. Let's go ahead and I have that message breakdown, and let's go ahead and send over the love. Thank you all so much again.
And stay above the water.
Thank you,
Okay,
girl.
and start
Bye,
the ray.
everyone.
Bye bye, everyone.
But thanks so much for having us, Peach. If there was like a button